Rich and Jeremy. Rich and Jeremy in the morning. On Wings. Wings 94.3.
It's Rich and Jeremy in the morning. It is 35 minutes after 7 o'clock.
Already halfway through?
I know it, man.
It's awful.
It's not. I mean, it's not awful.
Well, no, it is awful
because we've been able to. It's like halfway through the weekend. You've been able to experience
halfway through the week
the first half of the weekend, and it was fantastic. But you only have the other half left to go. You know what I mean?
You keep saying it the weekend.
The week or the weekend, whatever.
Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying? You're halfway through something that you love. You've enjoyed the first half, but you've only got half of it left.
Growing up, Sunday was the absolute worst day.
Really?
Because you knew school was right there.
I know it.
God, it was an awful feeling.
It really
Sunday
was bad.
afternoon was just a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like it was like it was a disease.
Maybe this is something we need to delve into.
It was a scourge on him. I absolutely. It was like the Robitussin of time. You know what I mean?
I know. The Robitussin of time.
The Robitussin of time.
That's what happens, though. I mean, it's interesting now when you think about your childhood and memories and how you spent weekends and what you did.
Right. That's why with Sadie, like the homeschool thing, the whole thing for me was to give my child to free her from that cycle of thinking that Sundays were bad.
I want to know what other people think about weekends.
I would love if you want to call in, if you want to talk about weekends, Charter Bank Hotline
321-9001.
And that's all about it. Do we have a call coming in?
I think we do.
All right, let's see what happens. Hello, you're on Rich and Jeremy in the morning.
Good morning, Jeremy. Good morning, Rich and Jeremy. It's nice to speak with you again.
Well, great. Is this Newt?
Well, of course it's Newt, Jeremy. Who else in the world would ever? Nobody else calls your program, do they? I think I'm the only one that I've ever. Occasionally there are other people, but I'm pretty much.
So you listen enough every day to know that, huh? You're pretty confident, huh?
Actually, no. I just was imagining that I was. The only
like
person
imagining
that.
Called
into your program. I like to pretend that I'm more important than I actually am.
Like you're the best caller and the most beloved, and we've never even. The great thing about it is like I've never actually met you, nor have I seen a picture of you. And we were talking about it the other day and trying to get a mental image in our mind of what you look like. Just describe it for me. Pretend you and I are, I don't know, we're trying to meet, in a park somewhere, and I need to look for you. And instead of wearing a white robe, give me the description. What does Newt Diddle look like?
Well, I'm a fairly unassuming physical specimen. I don't believe I have any real distinguishing characteristics. I do have one glass eye that but you can't really tell that until you get up close and realize that it's a bit smaller than my real eye and not quite the same shade of greenish brown. It's more turquoise.
Well, if you don't mind me asking, what happened? How'd that come about? If you don't mind me asking, that may be too.
Well, it was an unfortunate episode that happened in my childhood when I was in my second 8th grade year. It took me 3 times. But in my second 8th grade year, I was trying out for the basketball team. Unfortunately, I was not quite as tall as the other boys on the team and did not make the team. But at tryouts, there was an unfortunate episode involving a sneaker and a basketball bag. One of the big bags that they use to carry the basketballs to and from the practice facility, which for us was the parking lot. It was not a big school in Chunky.
So Chunky High School, was this Chunky High?
But it was just the Chunky school. It was all of the grades in one place.
Sounds like a special place for people. The Chunky school. Okay. Yeah. Well, so okay. Or you don't want to go any further than that. Just the sneaker and a basketball bag that resulted in you losing an eye.
I'm afraid that there might be some feelings hurt if I began to mention names or circumstances any more specific than those.
Well,
so I have learned to deal with it. It is not a problem, except I was not able to get it sized quite right, so occasionally it will fall out. So I have to be careful with that.
Speaking of childhood and stuff, my daughter Sadie is turning 11 tomorrow, and there's
that's a wonderful age, Jeremy. 11 years old. It's not quite a child, and it's not quite a teenager. It's somewhere in between, in the lost world of age and time and youth, and that's just fantastic.
We're excited. They call them, I think, tweens these days. That age group, that demographic. But I'm trying to figure out, like party wise, you always gotta, you think, well, you gotta one up it. What was birthday wise for you growing up? Were y'all a big party family? Did you have these big blowouts? Was it more subdued? Maybe the grandparents come over for dinner, cake, ice cream. What was it like for you as a birthday boy?
Well, it just depended on what time of the year we decided to have the birthday. There was some discrepancy as to what actual date my birthday was. There were a number of children, and I believe my mother lost track of who was born when. So it just kind of depended. If it was a spring birthday, we may go to the creek. If it was warm enough, if it was a fall birthday, then perhaps we would rake all the leaves together and maybe have a bonfire, and that was always very pleasant. But I had maybe what you would describe as a floating birthday.
Floating birthday? Well, which one? Which was your? Was there a favorite? Would you rather have a spring or a fall? A floating birthday.
Birthdays were a bit tragic in our family.
Tragic?
Well, my mother would always try to cook something special for us, and frankly, that was always a bit of a trying experience for the rest of the family. Jeremy, it was not always the most pleasant, although I did like it when birthdays fell during the school day and we could get extra pieces of cake at Chunky School. Which, come to think of it, may be why they called it Chunky, for the extra pieces of cake.
Oh.
I've never put those two things together before. Perhaps this is something I should speak to someone about.
Well, maybe you should. Well, thanks for speaking to us, Newt. And if it happens to be tomorrow or whatever it is, let me just go ahead and say happy birthday just in case.
Well, I thank you very much, and let me wish you, your daughter, a very, very happy 11th birthday. If I don't speak to you again, I hope that y'all have a very wonderful time.
I'll tell her. Thank you.